Hi everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. Just really quickly put my hair up because I always forget until I press play on the video. But basically we're doing my nails today. I have left these nails for way too long. Like, it's actually embarrassing how long these nails have been on. So these are the nails that I did a video for, but they were like red and they were my holiday nails, but I ended up not actually keeping them on because I didn't like them, so I just filed all the colour off back then and then put this flake glitter on top and then top coated, and that was how I went on holiday. Obviously that was weeks ago. I've been back for like nearly, I don't know, these nails have been on for 5 or 6 weeks now. Basically it's been a long time, so it's about time I sorted them out. So I just thought it'd be nice for us to do it together. So first things first, I'm going to take the length down. I'm going to put some of this underneath me just to catch all the dust and I can get rid of it easier. So yeah, I'm taking the length down first. I'm using my penultimate bit from Willow Academy. As you can see, I've already took down this hand. We're going to really not far above the, what's it called? The fingertips. So I'm going to go ahead and take them down really gently. Don't want to take too much off. I want to leave a bit of extra length for me to be able to file down to shape with my hand file. So that is too long basically, but I've left it too long on purpose is what I'm trying to say, which for some reason took me far too long. But yeah, taking them back down again. I really love the length that they started off, so I want to keep that length basically all the time. I should have got into the habit of like filing them down as they grew out, but obviously I didn't, so they're quite long now compared to how they started. As you can see from the growth area, they've grown out quite a lot. But yeah, I'm just taking them down, that nail out from underneath, and then I'll shape them properly with my hand file. I've got that stuck underneath my other nail. Brilliant. There we go. So like I said, I haven't completely figured out what I want yet. I think I'm going to do black. And I think I want to do black, but also the base colour of the Builder Gel on a couple as well, because I really do like this like light sort of colour. I've really loved having these nails on, and that says a lot because one, I'm not usually a light colour person, and secondly, they've been on 5 weeks, so usually I'd be really sick of a set by now, but I'm actually not. I could have quite easily just infilled and done the exact same thing again. Apologies if you can't hear me very well because of the sound of the e-file. Obviously that's not really there the whole time, so don't worry. Just taking down the length. First things first. I'm being careful, and before I started this I did look underneath my nails to see where the skin was, because the last thing I want to do is file through that because it will bleed and bleed and bleed forever and a day, and I don't have that much time to sit and wait. So as you can see, I filed that down to no, you can't see. I filed that down to basically exactly where the skin is. It's not going to focus. There we go, you can just about see it. So once I've done that, the next step is to thin them out, because obviously this needs basically a rebalance now. Why is it so adamant to focus on the kitchen, on the paper towel or whatever you want to call it? Napkin, that's the word. So basically, it looks like I'm going backwards and forwards, but I'm not. I am just going in one direction. Don't want to cause more friction than is necessary. But yeah, so what I was saying is I am taking down majority of the bulk now because it's all completely off balance. Like, these need a complete rebalance, not just an infill, because they've grown out that much. The apex is obviously way off and we need to redo that basically. So just taking them down quite thin, almost starting from scratch to be honest. Removing any lifting if there is any. And then once I have done that, I'm not filing to shape with this, by the way, literally just taking off the excess product. That is definitely not straight, so I'm just going to shave that away. Do you want to look at my nails from different angles? Probably not focused. Oh my god, it is. Can't believe it. I'm just finding from a slightly different angle now. And I like to look at my nails from all different angles to make sure that they are how they should be. And then I'm just going to file off this. Well, I'm basically just going to do the exact same thing as I just did on my thumb, but on the rest of the nail basically. So I'll do this one on camera and I'll do the rest off, and then we can move on to the next step. I don't want you to have to watch the same thing over and over. It's very, very boring. But I just want to show you from a side angle how these nails look. I really am debulking and not filing down to my natural nail, not going that far. And I am leaving a bit more than I sort of want to on purpose, because I'm going to use a sanding band at some point as well, and that's also going to take more product, so I need to sort of account for that to do that as well. So that's that, basically. I'm going to do the other three and then I'll come back. Okay, so I've just finished that step. I'm now going in with my cuticle bit, which is the Anastasia bit I'm using right now. And I'm just using that to push back any skin from the nail plate around the side walls and cuticle area, because that's how we're going to get like a long lasting application. The less of anything there is on the nail plate, the better. And then I always do this at this point, because then obviously when it comes to using my sanding band and basically prepping the natural nail for application, you can use the sanding band to prep this new growth area. So I'm using it in this direction first, and then I will reverse it and go the opposite way as well, to make sure that it's, well, done its job both ways basically. I do use my thumb or finger next to it to push back the skin from around my side walls, just to get in there easier. Just very easily aids the bit in doing its job. And again, I'm just going to turn that off, reverse, turn it back on, and then opposite direction. Again, using a finger to push back the skin. And this is basically doing the same job as a cuticle pusher would do, but I just use the e-file instead. So once I've done that, I'm now just going to hop back on my seat because I'm sliding off the end of it. I'm going to get my mandrel bit and I'm going to pop a sanding band on the end. So I just use these, they're cheap from Amazon, got a huge pack of them. I've got a real good habit of bending my mandrel bits. Don't even ask me why or how, because it's really annoying, but I do it far too often. So I bought a pack of 10, so every time I do it I've got backups. It's ridiculous. So there you go. And then I'm just using this on a low RPM to just basically rough up the surface of the nail, and that includes my natural nail and also the area that's still got builder gel on it. This step really, like, one, obviously etches the nail plate, which has got to be done regardless, because this is how, I've just knocked my nose off my phone, apologies, but this is how your product is going to stick. But it also, if you use this step to get it all nice and flush and really neat, so get rid of any lumps and bumps that you've created with your other bits or your hand file or whatever, get this bit really nice and neat, and your actual application of your gel is going to be so much easier. Look how smooth that is. So the gel's going to go on much easier, and it's going to be much better when it comes to application of builder gel, because it's going on a smooth surface, which is just the best thing you can do. I don't know why I'm finding this so awkward to do on camera, but I really am. So I'm going to do this nail as well, and then I'll do the others off camera really quick. I'm not putting too much pressure on, well, not putting any at all. You're literally just letting the sanding band do the work. This is doing the job that a hand file would do. That's basically how you see your sanding bands, is that they're a hand file. They've got the grit on just like a hand file would, they just work slightly differently, that's all it is. Okay, so I'm just going to do the other ones quickly. Okay, I finished that task, so this is where we're at now. That's just a little bubble sort of thing, just file that away. So this is what we're looking like. So next task is to hand file to shape. So I want to make sure they're nice and square, but I also want the corners ever so slightly rounded, because I do catch them when I'm filing other people's nails and they end up rounded anyway. So I always find that if I start by rounding them off, they don't look quite so weird when that happens. I also like to file at a certain angle, so I don't actually file like dead straight like that. I file like a little bit like that, because that automatically like does get rid of the corners a little bit and gives it like more of a softer finish. And that is what I'm after. So I'm just doing that. I do a little bit this way round and then switch it round and then see how it looks the other way, because I can't literally like say it enough to check from every angle when shaping like your nails or a client, because they'll look a certain way one way round and then you'll flip them round and they'll look totally different, and it's the most annoying thing ever when you've spent ages filing them. So always do it from multiple angles, whether it's on yourself or somebody else. So I'm just going to quickly go on the sides, make sure they're all nice and straight. I'm not doing too much really, because they're really flimsy at the moment because there's hardly any gel on them, so I don't want to risk ruining them just before I do them. So I do this quite lightly and then I will shape properly when they've got product on, basically when they're a little bit stronger. I can get away with being a little bit more vigorous. Right, so like I said, I do like to check from different angles. At the moment they look fine. I'm just going to turn them around, look from above, and I like the way they look that way as well actually, so that's gone quite well. So I'm just going to dust off and spray some IPA on my duster brush, and I'm just going to go over the nails and underneath, and it's going to really make sure that there's no dust anywhere that's going to cause any lifting and wind me up basically. I always make sure to do under the nails as well, because that is a bugger when you cap and pick up some dust by accident. So when they're sparkling, obviously wait for them to completely dry, but IPA doesn't take long because it's a high percentage of alcohol. Then we're going to go in with our application of gel. So I'm going to be using, as always, the Gel Perfection Builder Gel Base Coat, blah blah blah. So I'm going to be using Marshmallow, which is the one that I've got on this hand. I'm actually going to spray that hand as well, just because it looks disgusting and there's dust on it, and that can easily transfer to my other hands, so make sure it's nice and clean. But yeah, that's the one that I've got on this hand and I really like the look of it, so we're going with that. Just figuring out which nails to do. I think I'm going to do my thumb on camera, just because it's a large nail, so we'll go for that one. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, not too much else it won't stay focused, which is annoying. So I'm going to go first of all with my base coat. I've not got a lot on my brush because I don't want to flood, so I'm going to do the whole of the free edge area. Make sure to cap your side walls and free edge. So I'm actually going to do that first, and then it'll automatically take off the excess when I swipe over the end, like so. And once I've done that, we get back focused. I'm going to get some more on my brush, still not a lot, but enough to cover the rest of the nail. Then I'm just going to start further up the nail and push my brush back. I'm using this finger here to pull back any skin. So just pull it back, hold it in place, and you can get a much neater application. And then I'm going as close to the skin as I can, without touching it. Sometimes it's easier to go like sideways sweeping motion than just go straight in and a bit stabby with the brush. Get it as neat as I can. The base coat's almost like the most important layer, because anywhere you get the base coat, any other gel you put on after this coat is going to go there naturally. So you need to make sure it's only exactly where you want it. So there we go. I'm going to pop that into the lamp for a full cure. I always do my thumb separately. So I'll do my thumb, like thumb base coat, then 4 fingers base coat, and then thumb builder, and then 4 fingers builder, and then so on. Just because I don't want any of the other nails, to run while I'm doing that, because obviously it's on a different angle. So if I did my thumb and then turned it on my side so I could do my fingers, my thumb would run to the bottom of the right hand side, or the left if it's this hand obviously, and then vice versa. If I'm doing the thumb, I don't want my fingers to run. And also we want to make sure that it's all completely cured in the lamp. So obviously that is another big one. Like, we need to make sure that it's fully cured, and to do that we need all of the nails to get all of the light from every angle. So I'm going in now with my index finger. Again, I'm doing the free edge and side walls, using my thumb and finger on the other side of it to pull back the sidewall skin, and then making sure I've got a bit of product on my brush. I can go in with the cuticle area, working quite slowly just to really make sure it's nice and neat, less cleaning up to do. And like I said, every coat after this is also going to go where this base coat is. We really want to make sure that it's as neat as possible. So that's that one. I'm going to pop that in the lamp for 20 seconds, well 10 to 20 seconds. Just to keep that exactly where it is while I do the others, because I don't want that one to run while I'm doing anything else. And then yeah, that'll stay where it is while I do the next nail, and then I'll do that again, and blah blah blah. So I'm going to get on with this. I'm just going to do the base coat on all of them, then we can come back to do builder. Okay, so I've just done my pinky, so now I'm putting all 4 of those nails in the lamp for a full cure now, to make sure that they all get the full cure. Obviously the first one has now been cured 3 times already, so it's already had 30 seconds, but the pinky needs all the time anyway, so it's fine. So like I said, I'm going to be using Marshmallow Builder Gel. I love the Builder Gels from Gel Perfection. I'm sure you know that because I've been using them for ages now, and they are all over my channel, but yeah. So here is my nails just with base coat. This is what they look like. We're going to get straight into Builder Gel, and I'm going to start with my thumb again. So basically, I'm just going to get some product on my brush, and I'm going to put the majority of it down this cuticle area, because obviously there is absolutely no product there. And then I'm just going to leave the majority of it down there and then brush it up. I don't go right up to the side walls or cuticle area with the bottle brush, mainly just because it's big and bulky and it's difficult to get nice and neat. So I get the majority of my product onto my nail. And then I'll get a liner brush, and then that is what I'll use to put the Builder Gel exactly where I need it. So I'm taking that then right up to the side walls, because it's so much easier to do with a brush of this size. I have much more control over this than I would the big bulky bottle brush. I've got my finger on my index finger. That is really annoying. Definitely don't need to be leaning on that. Anyway. So again, just using it to take it exactly where I need it, right up to those side walls, get it nice and neat. And then also the cuticle area, which to be fair didn't turn out too bad just in the bottle brush, so that's good. I'm just going to do a quick line around that to make sure it is as neat as possible. Take it right in those corners. It's this area here that's the hardest to get to with the bottle brush. And then once I've done that, I can look from the side and see what we look like. So at the moment, our free edge is the same thickness as everywhere else on the nail, which is not necessary. We need this area here, because if you imagine putting pressure on the end of your nail, where would you see the tension? That's when you know where your apex should be, basically, because that is where pressure is when there's pressure applied to your nails. So obviously when you're using your nails in normal everyday life, it's that area that needs to be the built up bit. So I'm just making sure this is spread nice and evenly. Again, with the angles thing, you want to look at it from all angles to make sure it is neat. It's going to make finish filing a lot easier. To be fair, I don't even tend to finish file. And that's the joys of taking a bit more extra time with your application. You just don't need to finish file. So that's how we're looking. My nails are not particularly long, so they don't need to be really thick or bulky or anything like that. But just use your line of light to make sure it's all nice and neat. So we're just going to use that. As you can see, it's nice and smooth. And anywhere it's not, so you can just see there's a tiny, tiny dip. You get your nail in a position where you can see it better. You can then just maneuver a little bit of the gel to get that into the area that you need, making sure to not create a problem elsewhere in the process of doing that. Make sure it's all nice and even. And then give it a couple of seconds to self level and it'll even itself out and then we're good to go. So I'm going to pop this in the lamp now for a full cure because it's my thumb and it needs to be cured separately. And then I'm going to do the other 4 nails off camera and then we can get into design. Okay, they're all done. It's design time. This is what they look like. Beautiful. Love this pink. So my plan, I'm not going to finish file because I did take extra time to get the application decent, so I don't need to bother because I am far too impatient when it comes to my own nails. So I'm going to be using this plate here. I'm just going to make a quick wipe over so you can see it better under the light. And we're doing some stamping, some foil. So this is what we're going with, which is the, it's upside down, this plate here from Moira, the Blossometry number 2 plate. Plate 93. It's absolutely beautiful. These are all the images on it, and I'm going to be using something from down here. I think I'm going to go with, I haven't 100% made my mind up yet. I wasn't sure whether to use these two and this. I think they look really pretty. So something along those lines anyway. So first things first, we're going to get my colours. So in the Gel Box UK box of this month, November, this beautiful colour came in it. It's absolutely stunning. It's called Tortoise Turquoise. And it's this colour here. It's absolutely stunning. And I really wanted to use it, but I'd also set my heart on having black nails this time. So I've decided I'm going to do both. We're going to incorporate black and this colour. So I think I'm going to do full black, just plain black. And then this one is just going to be stamped black on this pink background. This one's going to be full turquoise. This one's going to be a stroke of turquoise, a bit of black foil, and then maybe stamping. And then this one is also going to be stamping. So I think I am just going to keep this one's just the 2 colours together sort of thing. But basically we're just going to sort of go with it anyway. We'll see where we end up. The further through the design we get. Like I probably will change my mind at some point in some way, shape or form. I'd be very surprised at myself if I actually don't, but we'll see. I also don't want to do anything too difficult because obviously I need to match it on my opposite hand, which isn't fun. So something nice and simple is definitely what I'm after with this. Just notice I'm not even in shot or in focus, which is not ideal. I don't know why I chose black to do my own nails with, because painting your own nails is not fun as it is, and I've made it even harder by choosing to use the worst colour ever. But I love black, so it was definitely a long time coming. I was always going to be using black soon. I'm going to pop this on here in hopes that it'll be easier. It's not, because the lid's open. I'm going to use this instead, just because it's the nearest thing to me. I'm just really carefully painting this nail. I am definitely going to have to do it off camera because I need to get in all sorts of weird positions and I can't do it with the camera on. Okay, that was intense. Finished painting the pinky. Even got the detailer brush out to really do it properly. So I'm just going to go in with the teal, like turquoisey colour now. This is absolutely such a stunning colour. Like, look at that. It is just beautiful. I know this isn't the best background for me to sort of use for this, but you know, I need to rest on something. I'm purposely not going right up to the side walls because I'm going to use my detailer off camera to do it properly. I just want to show you the overall colour, like just in general, really quickly. But look, isn't that stunning? Oh my god, I absolutely love it. It's just beautiful. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to do it properly now. So I've just painted that middle one. I'm just going to do my stroke of colour on this one now. So I just want it to be a bit random, a bit messy, like so. And then I'm just going to fully cure that hand now, because I'm going to do the thumb separate again. Well, I need to do the thumb design first, but yeah, I'm actually going to remove that. I put way too much on. I got really carried away. I'm really good at saying, like, yeah, I want it to be totally random and really like subtle, and just, you know, just do it. Don't put too much effort in, and then I just go over it and over and over it until I don't like it. So I'm just going to take the majority off the brush and go again. That is it. That is what I want. So I'm going to pop that in for a full cure. And when that comes out, I can put my foil gel on my index finger and do my stamping on the ring finger. Although I'm still not sure what I'm going for. I think I'm going to go with the bottom left, like the rosy sort of. I'm trying to do this one-handed, it's not ideal, but these images here, I think they're really cute. And then maybe do one of these ones with the lines in, not that one in specific, but just in general, like one of these with the lines on my thumb, just because obviously my thumb's a bit bigger, I can fit a bit more of a design on. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure yet. We'll just see how we get on. Like, as it comes together, I'll see what I fancy and how it's going on the way. So I've done the second coat of colour on the other nails. I'm just removing the tacky layer off this green colour now, so I can put my foil gel on, because obviously I don't want my foil to stick anywhere apart from where I put my foil gel. So I'm going to apply the foil gel in the same sort of way that I did the green. I'm literally just going to do that. Just completely random, throw it on like so. I've done the second coat of the middle finger and pinky finger, and then we'll do the stamping when this is cured and we've popped the foil on. So the foil I'm using is literally just the black, like the plain black one from Diamond Glitters. I don't know what it's called or anything, it's literally just plain black. So that's what I'm going to use on that index finger. So I'm going to apply my foil now to this nail. So I'm just putting pressure on where I applied the gel, just like so. Cover everywhere that's got the foil gel there, and that's what that one looks like. Super cute. So now we're on to the stamping nails, which I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do, but obviously we can just do it as many times as we need and keep doing it, and then taking it off and doing it and then taking it off until I am happy. So it's all good. So I'm just taking off the tacky layer from my thumb and ring finger, and then I'm just going to get some tissue to put underneath my stamping plate as I make a mess. Okay, in the 20 seconds I was just off camera, I decided that I don't actually like the black foil, so I've changed it for black polish. I've literally just, well, quite literally just put black polish there instead, and I've top coated the pinky nail and the middle nail just so I don't disturb them in the process of stamping. So I'm going to be using black stamping polish to go with, obviously, the black. And I'm going to use, obviously, the plate that I've already showed you, and then my stamper from Nail Decals by Design, and then my Moyu black stamping polish, and just a random Moira scraper, sorry. So I've decided I am going to try, first of all, this image down here. We've got one for each, like, hand, which is good. There's a left side and a right side. And then I am going to use the one that I originally showed you. Yeah, I was going to go with this one. I think I'm going to try that one, and I'm going to also try this one to see which one that I prefer on my thumb. But just quickly, I'm going to very quickly top coat this one off camera, cure that, and then come back and we can do the stamping nails. Okay, let's get into stamping. I'm doing it upside down, literally just because I can't have all of the plate on show, because as you'll probably know by now, my camera absolutely hates stamping plates, so I need to have it as out of the way of the camera as possible. I'm just cleaning off my stamper by rolling it over a lint roller to make sure there's no product already on there. And then I'm going to pick up my image. So I'm using these ones down here that I told you about. Doesn't matter which one I use first, as long as I just remember to use the opposite one for my other hand. But obviously I'll be doing my other hand off camera, so it's fine. I'm just going to get rid of any excess I don't want. flip it round, and then I'm going to try, she says, this is my downfall, at making it as central as possible. That actually went really surprisingly well. I'm not usually very good at that task. Right, so I'm absolutely loving that actually. I really love that we've got the pink underneath on this one, a bit on this one, and we're going to on this one, because I just love this Builder Gel colour. So, like I said, I'm going to try out two. So we're going to try this image here first. Obviously, if I like this one, I won't bother messing about doing the other one, but this is just a tacky top coat, by the way. Don't just ignore the fluff that's just stuck to my middle finger. I haven't took the tacky layer off yet. So yeah, just going over this image here with my polish. It was loud. I'm going to take the excess off. Pick up the image, make sure that there's nothing on there that I don't want. And then, I don't know whether to do it this way or this way. I think I'm going to go horizontal this time. Just something a little bit different. Like so. I'm going to clean up the sides. You can see what it really looks like. And then actually I think what I'm going to do is just quickly do the other image on my other thumb. So obviously my other thumb is actually ready, like, to be done. It's infilled and everything. I just need to do it. So I've got two thumbs to have the images on, see which one I like the most. But I do really like that. That is really pretty. Very cute. So yeah, I'm going to use the other thumb. Let's have a look what it looks like. So I'm just going to wipe over it with acetone. It is freshly filed and all that sort of thing. I filed this hand when I was doing my other one, so it's fine. Make sure it's fluff free. Just going to dust off and sanitize with my duster brush that I used earlier to make sure it's nice and clean. And then, like I said, I'm going to try the other image, which I have forgotten which one I was going to use, because it's now upside down. Oh, it's because I've covered it with the other side. It's fine. Right, so I'm going to try this one here. I'm going to turn it round. Oh, the light is on it now. There we go. I'm going to give that one a go and see how that one looks on the other thumb. I mean, to be fair, if I like them both, I might just have my thumbs different. I'm really not, like, I'm not bothered about things like that. Like, I'm happy to have two different hands. I know some people are not, and that is fine, but I am not one of those people. I'll have both hands different. I don't mind. In fact, I might actually do both hands different on purpose. No, let's not get carried away. That's not what we're going to do. So, using this image here this time, scrape off the excess, roll over, pick it up, get off any other bits that we don't want. That bit's not in the way anyway, so it's fine. And then we're going to do it on this thumb this time. In fact, I might even do it horizontal, really mix it up a bit. Ooh, I do like that one. I almost like that one as well. I might keep both. Why not? Why don't we just keep both? Because I do like them both, so it's all good. Just cleaning up very briefly. Obviously I will clean up properly after I've top coated, but my brush has got a lot of black in it, so it's actually just making it worse. But yeah, they're the thumbs. I think this one's my favourite, but I do like this one, so I am going to keep both. Why not? And then I might even use a different image for my ring finger on this hand, just to sort of go with the theme of having something different on both hands. But it's difficult because I really like that image. It's on my ring finger on that hand. And there isn't any others that are like that with a line through the middle, because I quite like the line slash circular sort of design. So I think I might just stick to the one that I used on my other hand, because I do really like that one, and there isn't really another one that's tickling my fancy, so we'll do that. But anyway, I'm doing that another time. I don't know why I'm going on about it now. Let's just top coat this thumb and my ring finger. In fact, I'll quickly do that off camera. I'll take the tacky layer off my, what's it called, my top coat, and I'll show you what they look like. So here are the finished nails. I've done both hands as well, just so you can actually see what they look like both hands, because I'm really good at only doing one for the video and then you're not seeing both of them put together. What is that? Get off me. I've just washed them and now there's lint flying around everywhere basically. So that's where all the stuff has come from. And I've also just made the mistake of running my sleeve over it when I've just put cuticle oil on. So everything is literally gluing to me, which is just fantastic. But yeah, so here is the finished design. I absolutely love how they turned out. I really love the thumbnail, what are they called? Stamps as well. They're so pretty. So yeah, let me know whether this is the sort of set that you would wear, whether you like it or not. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll be back really soon with hopefully a video that will focus next time, because this one is not it. But yeah, I'll be back really soon with another video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.